Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware Stores, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program. And by the Michigan Cable Television Association.
It's Michigan High School Athletic Association Championship Baseball from C.O. Brown Stadium in the Bigley Park Softball and Baseball Complex in Battle Creek. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Carey. With me is Mike Carey. We're here for the Class D state championship game that matches today Hillman High School and Athens High School. Hillman got into this final round of Class D championship play by turning in a shutout victory over Oakland Christian yesterday, while Athens reached the finals by getting an extra inning victory over Traverse City St. Francis. Mike, on the basis of comparative scores and from what we saw yesterday, it might appear that Hillman is the favorite.
I would agree with you on scores and everything along that line, but maybe more so on the pitching. Yesterday, Mark Schellenberger was the starter for Athens, and he was cruising along in pretty good fashion until the fourth inning when he pulled a muscle in his hip and had to leave the game as far as the pitcher. They worked on him last night and this morning to try and loosen that up, and he'll be the starting pitcher for Athens today. If he can go 4 innings, they'll be in pretty good shape. If he can't, that's going to put a lot of strain on their pitching staff, which would have to go to the second and then into a third starter. And I think Hillman, with a 3-0 shutout yesterday, the strain is not on their pitching staff. They're a little deeper at this point in the game.
Well, Hillman has lost only 1 game all season long, and Athens has won 14 in a row. It should be a great Class D championship final, and we'll be back with the lineups. But one of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Back at Brown Stadium here in Battle Creek for the Class D championship game between Athens and Hillman, and Mike Carey has the starting lineups. Mike.
All right, first of all, for the Athens Indians, coached by Tim Flynn, coming in with a record of 18-6, leading it off, and playing center field will be Shane Swartz. Batting second will be Mike Harvey, playing right field. The pitcher, Mark Schellenberger, will bat third. Batting fourth and cleanup, the catcher, Jason Brown. Batting fifth will be the second baseman, Bryant Kinney. The designated hitter will be Chip Dearman. He will be batting for Steve Castleman, who will be playing third base. Batting seventh will be the shortstop, Jason Flynn. Batting eighth will be the first baseman, Dave Shannon. And batting ninth will be Tim Lane, playing left field. Mark Schellenberger, the starting pitcher, with a record of 7-2 and a 2.06 ERA. Defensively, for the Hillman Tigers, Mark McMurray will be the starting pitcher this afternoon, and Matt McMurray will be the starting catcher. So McMurray is your battery for the Hillman Tigers. At first base defensively for Hillman will be John Frye. Tim Jones will be playing second base. Greg Jones at shortstop, and Mark Oswald will be over at third base. The outfield for the Tigers will have Charlie Davis in left field. Steve KAZYAKA will be playing center field this morning, and Mike Dunleavy will be playing right field for the Hillman Tigers, who are coached by Dave Checkley and coming in with a record of 21-1.
Interesting, Mike, that you've got a brother battery out there in the McMurrays, and the one who's doing the pitching is a freshman. With undoubtedly the most important game Hillman has been involved in ever.
A lot of pressure, particularly for a freshman. You think about teams getting to state championships, and the coaches often talk about senior leadership, or at least experience, and right here we have just the opposite. You have a freshman starting, as you said, the biggest game in his high school history.
Well, we're ready to go. Here's the windup on the first pitch from McMurray, and it is taken low for a ball. Hillman attired in its Tiger colors of orange and black. He got him swinging at a low outside fastball. 1-1 on the leadoff hitter for Athens, Shane Schwartz, who is starting in center field today. The right-hander McMurray delivers, and there's a foul into the stands up behind first base.
And we're going to have to keep an eye on you, Paul, because unlike Tiger Stadium, you have no screen in front of you today. We're a little bit unprotected.
Yeah. We're situated, our broadcast vantage point, down the first base line, down beyond first, in fact.
Up high for a ball.
So we got a 2-2 count now on the leadoff man, Schwartz. There's a low one, and the count has gone full on the opening batter. It is a very warm and sunny morning here in Battle Creek. And the walk is issued to Shane Schwartz. It's like that first kickoff in football for this young freshman hurler. He'd like to get somebody hitting his ball to one of his
I would think
defenders.
so. Get that first ground out or fly ball to get that first out, get it under your belt. Just like you said, the first hit in football on the kickoff, you lose a lot of the butterflies.
There's Mike Harvey, right fielder of the Athens club, and a little toss to first beforehand. Athens' nickname is Indians, and as mentioned, Hillman's nickname, Tigers. Athens has colors of purple and white. There's a pitch, there's a swing and a miss and a throw to second, and he's safe at second. Kind of a delayed steal by Schwartz. A late swing by Harvey trying to help the hitter who had started to move. Trying to help the runner, that is.
Here we have a replay of that steal. Here's the pitch down and outside, and a little bit, it got caught up in the middle a little bit. And the runner beating it easily, and then the throw getting by as it is.
So Athens has a man in scoring position now with nobody out.
That pitch was down and away, so it's a ball 2 count on the batter, Mike Harvey.
And there's another one low and away. Well, McMurray has started a pattern here, basically a fastball pitcher. And that's what you'd find, generally speaking, with high school pitchers. You'll find them throwing occasional change-ups and curves. But at this age, what you look for is someone who can throw the ball hard. And McMurray throws the ball hard, low and away to the right-handed hitters. There's a bluff to second.
Now they have changed the count on the scoreboard and gone to 1-1. They had it up there as 2-0.
There's another low pitch, and the count has gone 2-1 now on Harvey. During the earlier part of the year, McMurray won 6 and lost 1. There's a called strike. Got that one in there to even the count at 2-2. A top pitcher for Hillman this season is playing second base in this game. Tim Jones. He pitched a shutout yesterday against Oakland Christian. There's a tapper to the right of the mound. Gloved by Jones. Flipped to first in time. On to third goes the runner Schwartz. Well, there's one down with a man at third. And Harvey did his job. He hit behind the runner, advancing him over to third base where he can come in on a fly ball.
And the batter will be the starting pitcher, Mark Schellenberger.
On the year, Schellenberger is hitting .292. Had 3 homers and 15 RBIs. Got a man at third base with 1 out. There's a high fastball to Schellenberger. They're over here in the stadium yesterday when Schellenberger was facing Traverse City St. Francis, and he pulled that little side muscle that Mike talked about before, and eventually had to come out of the game. There's a strike called on Schellenberger. He stayed in, they checked the side, and he stayed in and threw about 3 more pitches, I think. And
tried to go to one more batter, just didn't have any success.
Swing and a miss, and a 1-2 count now on Schellenberger.
Didn't feel comfortable throwing, but he did stay in the game. Actually went over to third base as they did a little adjustment in their lineup and had a pretty good throw from third over to first on one play.
And that one just missed, low and away. Here's a full windup and a foul back out of play. Our broadcast vantage point, as I mentioned before, is down beyond first base, and we're just beyond the dugout of the Athens team. A little difficult to tell whether the ball is inside or outside from here, Mike.
The umpire is going to have a much better vantage point on any call today than we are.
And he offered him an off-speed pitch that time. It was high and inside, and the count is full. A 3-2 pitch, popped foul. That'll be out of play down beyond our booth, down in some bleacher seats in the right field area. This stadium gets a lot of use through the baseball season. It is the host stadium for the Stan Musial Finals, among other tournament finals. Here's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Schellenberger. Well, there are two out with that runner still at third base, and the catcher, Jason Brown, will be the batter. Brown had to finish the game yesterday for Athens, came from behind the plate, and after a little bit of a shaky beginning on the mound, he settled down and pitched well. First pitch is low to him, ball one.
And that would be the scenario today should Schellenberger not be able to pitch. It would be Brown who would come in.
The ground ball to second, big hop into right center field. Big bounce over Tim Jones, and a run is scored. On to second goes Brown, and he's in safely. It'll be a two-base hit. An RBI for Brown, and Athens breaks on top 1-0.
That one, as you said, the big hop right over second baseman, who was in perfect position for it. Tim Jones was there, and all of a sudden it took a hop about 3 feet over his head in between the right fielder and center fielder, and alertly, Brown turned the corner at first and made it into second standing up. So it'll be Bryant Kinney, the batter.
The first pitch to him is a called strike. Kinney, a blonde-haired second baseman, hit well in the regular season, .351. There's a pitch low and away. Athens in front, 1-0. They're still batting here in the top of the first inning. Class D state championship baseball game. Swing and a miss by Kinney.
Kinney also had 1 home run on the season and 16 RBIs.
Now time called by Kinney. Wants to check sign that he had gotten from the coach, Tim Flynn, who's coaching over at third base. A little equipment repair. Adjustment of the shoe by the pitcher, Mark McMurray. Athens got where they are into this championship game basically because of their hitting. Schellenberger looked very good toward the end of the season and in the earlier games in the tournament. But primarily they're here because they're such a good hitting team. The foul out of play.
You said it's going to be a hot day today. The morning game, not too bad. Temperature probably in the mid-70s right now, very sunny and a little humid. Those afternoon games make it quite hot.
We'll be in the same spot later on in the day, Mike, for the Class C title game. A high inside pitch to Kinney. That evens the count at 2-2. Oh, he let that one go by. Awful tough pitch not to swing at, but he took it outside for a ball. There's a swing and a foul back on the screen. Well, these two teams, this is an awesome stadium, really, because throughout the year they'll not play in front of anything like the C.O. Brown Stadium here in Battle Creek. There's ball 4, and Kinney gets a walk.
So with 2 outs, Athens will have him at first and second. Chip Dearman, the designated hitter, will be the batter.
One nothing, Athens in front here in the top of the first inning.
Dearman hitting .511 with 1 home run and 21 RBIs.
That's why his bat's in the lineup. Left-handed hitter. And he takes a fastball a little high. They pitch. There's a ground foul. Ooh, off the coach Tim Flynn over there in the third base coaching box. He spun around, but didn't avoid that one. That stung.
Well, tomorrow that'll be just a war wound.
Mike and I had a chat with Dave Checkley, the Hillman coach, before. And he had used his ace yesterday, but he said he had to get to this championship game. That's the whole purpose. There's a pitch outside, and it's now 2-1 count. Didn't do him any good to save a pitcher if that pitcher is not going to be used.
Most of the games we saw yesterday, that same philosophy held up.
Yeah. Pitchers are limited in these last 2 days here to 30 outs. So Tim Jones, who went 7 innings yesterday, has 9 outs left. He could come in and pitch and probably will. There's a foul back. Count remains 2-2.
Jason Brown down at second. Bryant Kinney at first with 2 outs and a 2-2 count on the batter. Dearman, the designated hitter, 1 run in already for Athens here in the first inning.
Another foul back out of play. This will be over the roof behind the plate. Not a cloud in sight here in Battle Creek. Earlier in the week, there was some concern about what the weather might be here on Saturday, but that has dissolved. In fact, they could use some rain in this area. Here's a pitch, and he hit him. And load him up for Jason Flynn.
So Flynn trots down to first. The base is loaded now with 2 outs, and the batter,
Next batter for the Indians,
Jason Flynn.
Number 6, Jason Flynn.
Now, this is the young man who is the son of the coach Tim Flynn, and it was his RBI single in the 8th inning yesterday that broke a 7-7 tie against St. Francis. He takes a pitch high and away. And Athens went on to add 2 more runs.
He had quite an afternoon. 3 runs, 3 hits, a couple RBIs.
There's a fly ball, might drop in down the right field line. It's in there, that'll score at least 2. On to third goes Dearman, 2 runs in. And it's now a 3-0 lead for Athens. A base hit for Jason Flynn, a little flare into short right field.
That scores Jason Brown and Bryant Kinney for the 2nd and 3rd runs. And on the play, Chip Dearman moves over from first to third. So you have the runners at the corner, and the batter will be Dave Shannon. And a little conference right now at the mound to try and settle down Mark McMurray.
His brother Matt out there along with the coach Dave Checkley. Runners at first and third. There have been 2 hits, a couple of walks, and a hit batsman here in the first inning already for Athens. Athens was involved in a very long game yesterday, that extra inning, 8-inning game with Traverse City St. Francis, while Hillman made short work of Oakland Christian as Tim Jones pitched that 6-hit shutout and won 3-0. A game that took, somebody said, 89 minutes yesterday. Now we're ready to go. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 3 runs in, and McMurray steps off the river. Now back on. There's a foul off the bat of Dave Shannon.
This is a great tournament down here. 2 baseball games going at almost all times yesterday. 2 softball games across the road going at almost every time yesterday. A lot of action around here.
There's a swing and a miss, and it's 2 strikes on Shannon.
I might mention the 4 games today in baseball and also the 4 softball championships going on. So Battle Creek is the place to be today.
McMurray looked in, didn't like what he saw in the way of a sign, stepped off. Shannon, a heftily built right-handed hitting first baseman. He cuts and misses, struck him out. And that's all for Athens in the top of the first inning, but they pick up 3 runs and take a 3-0 lead. Now we're going to have Athens moving out defensively, and we'll get a chance now to take a look at that batting order of Hillman as they come to bat in the bottom of the first inning.
3-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Athens with 3 runs on 2 hits. And here's the lineup for the Hillman Tigers, coached by Dave Checkley, coming in with a record of 21-1. Leading it off for Hillman will be Matt McMurray. McMurray, the catcher. Batting second will be center fielder Steve KAZYAKA. Batting third will be the second baseman, Tim Jones. The number 4 cleanup hitter will be first baseman John FRYE. Batting fifth will be the third baseman, Mark Oswald. Batting sixth and playing shortstop will be Greg Jones. Batting seventh, the pitcher, Mark McMurray. Batting eighth will be the right fielder, Mike Dunleavy. Batting ninth will be Dory Bennick, the designated hitter, who will be DHing today for the left fielder, Charlie Davis. Defensively for Athens, you'll have Mark Schellenberger, the starting pitcher, and Jason Brown, the catcher.
I think we ought to make one thing very perfectly clear here before we progress too much in this broadcast, that Mike Carey is not my son. He is not my father either. He's not my brother, but he is my nephew. He's my oldest nephew. He's the oldest son of my brother Terry. And Mike has been in this business since he started tasting broadcasting at WCEN in Mount Pleasant in 1971, station I helped put on the air in 1949. An interesting note, I've always felt that many years later, after I started working at WCEN, Mike was doing the same sportscast with the same sponsor, the same program name, some 23 years later.
It's been a long time.
Yep. And it's the first time you and I worked together.
We have never had a chance to sit down and broadcast a game together. It's a lot of fun.
Mark Schellenberger on the mound. It'll be interesting, as Mike pointed out earlier, how that side of his reacts to trying to throw the hard one here. And leading off for Hillman in the bottom of the first inning is Matt McMurray, the catcher.
McMurray with a .413 average, 11 RBIs, and 1 home run on the season.
There's a fly ball lifted to shallow center field. Racing in is Schwartz. He's there. He's got it. 1 pitch and 1 away.
That ball started to carry a little bit. Schwartz came flying in, had to put on the brakes, and had half a step back to make the catch.
Not much breeze here today. The flags out in left field are indicating somewhat of a breeze blowing out toward right, but sure not feeling it here in the stands.
No. Yesterday, almost dead calm most of the afternoon.
Here's Steve KAZYAKA, little center fielder. 1 out, nobody on, 3-0. Athens off to an early lead. Hillman trying to get back in it here in the bottom of the first. Schellenberger went 4 1/3 yesterday, I think, before he had to come out. There's a line hop into a drive into center field, right out over second base, and it's a 1-out single for KAZYAKA.
Schellenberger has 4 1/3 innings left today.
Oh, okay.
That is providing everything holds up and that muscle doesn't tighten up on him. And right now, Jason Brown goes over to talk to him with 1 out and a man at first. Perhaps asking him how he's feeling, if that's tight on him or if he's loose enough.
Kind of a tough day for Athens over here yesterday, but it turned out all right. They had a 7-2 lead at one time over Traverse City St. Francis in the semifinal, and blew that lead. St. Francis came up with 5 big ones to tie it, but then Athens won it in extra innings.
Tim Jones, the batter, batting .430 with 29 RBIs.
He squares the bunt, then gets the bat back on to second, goes the runner, and he's safe. KAZYAKA with a steal of second.
And we have a replay of that steal. Good throw to the outside. The catcher's throw sailed a little bit up and away, and the runner able to slide in under the tag.
It's one of the things that's done it for Hillman this year, speed. It was evident yesterday in the game against Oakland Christian, too. There's a high one, and the count has gone 2-0 on the batter, Tim Jones.
Coach Dave Checkley had indicated that they would want to run today.
Schellenberger delivers a swing and a miss. 2-1. Both of these Class D teams have a fine, large following on hand here at C.O. Brown Stadium for the Class D championship game. There's a called strike. Al Nixon is calling the balls and strikes here in the D title game. There's a line drive, base hit to left center field. Rounding third and coming home is KAZYAKA, and on to second is Jones, and he's in safely. It'll be a 2-base hit. And the Tigers of Hillman coming back. They get 1 back to trail now 3-1.
The RBI for Tim Jones on that single to left center. KAZYAKA scoring the first run for the Tigers.
Here's John FRYE.
Here's that double. Left center field, and really between the fielders, cut off by center fielder Shane Swartz coming over. And the throw not in time to get him as he went down to second base. There's the run scoring.
Little conference at the mound. The coach of Athens, Tim Flynn, out to have a word with Schellenberger. Oh, there's a runner at second. 1 out, a run in. 3-1 now, and the batter is the cleanup hitter, John FRYE.
FRYE hitting .364, 23 RBIs, and 4 home runs on the season.
Got him swinging on the first pitch. Here's a look to second by Schellenberger. There's a swing and a pop fly down the left field side. It'll be foul and out of the reach of the left fielder, Tim Lane.
We talked quite a bit about Schellenberger and that muscle pull, but I would think in this heat, Paul, and the longer he goes, the more that would tend to loosen up rather than tighten up. If it was tight, right, you'd have probably seen him struggling right off the bat.
I don't think if we had a cold day out here, he would not be pitching, period. This is a large ballpark by high school standards. 335 down each line of the fence. 385 to straightaway center, 375 to the power alleys and right and left. Pitch is outside, and it's a 1-2 count now on FRYE.
We did not see any home runs yesterday. We saw one triple that they tried to stretch into an inside the park home run, didn't make it.
It takes quite a blast to get one out here. There's a ground ball to second, gloved by Kenny. The throw to first. Out. A bluff throw across the diamond. On to third goes Jones on the put out. Well, they're 2 out now with a runner at third.
And that'll leave it up to third baseman Mark Oswald. With 2 outs here and 1 run in, his team trailing 3-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Oswald, the left-hander, steps in there, hitting .446, 3 home runs and 22 RBIs on the year, and he's got a man down at third in scoring position.
Schellenberger checks that runner at third. There's a cut and a miss by Oswald. 6 feet, 230-pound freshman, Mark Oswald. What size is he going to be in 3 years? Or next year, for that matter. He backed him off that time. A lot of space on foul territory here at Brown Stadium, between the lines and the fences or the barriers. There's a foul back to the screen. You noted that with Coach Checkley this morning. Most high school diamonds don't have much space.
Quite a bit of room. Fielders will have a chance to get some balls that are foul, but not going to get up in the stands here, and back in their hometown would.
Another pitch in too close on Oswald. 2 out, that runner at third base. 3-1. Athens has the lead. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Athens is located over in this section of the state. They're not far away from Battle Creek. There's a foul back to the barrier.
Oswald just got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Hillman had to come quite a distance from northeastern part of the Lower Peninsula on their way down to Battle Creek. In fact, they made a stop at Mount Pleasant at Central Michigan and used
a chance to work out at the stadium.
Yep, used the facility.
Tennyson Stadium, and very impressed with that facility.
There's a hard smash to the shortstop, Flynn. He's got it. The toss over to Shannon, and that retires the side. Hillman comes up with 1 run on a couple of hits. And we'll be right back with inning number 2. This is the MHSAA on pass. Here comes the top of the second inning. Athens will be sending up the number 9 hitter Tim Lane to lead it off against Mark McMurray. And the first pitch is taken for a ball. It'll be Lane, Schwartz, and Harvey. The first 3 due up here in the second inning for Athens. A little pop foul out of play in behind third base.
There you get a shot of how much distance there is between third base and the stands.
Almost as much as in the Oakland Coliseum.
Lane hitting .286. Takes that one up high.
3 runs on a couple of hits, a couple of walks, and a hit batsman in the first inning for Athens, giving them their 3-1 lead.
Lane with one home run and 13 RBIs this season.
Left-handed hitter. He's the starting left fielder for Athens. Takes another one out of the strike zone, and it's a 3-1 count. Oh, that's ball 4.
Scoreboard a little bit slow on that one, but Lane leads it off with a leadoff walk here in the top of the second inning.
Here's the leadoff man, Shane Schwartz. He got things going in the first inning by drawing a walk from McMurray.
McMurray did get behind by leading it off in the first inning, and now in the second inning with leadoff walks. Not exactly what Coach what Checkley would like to see.
There's a bunt down the third base side, fielded by McMurray. His throw to second is late. Oh, they're calling him back and out, I believe, for running into his own batted ball. I'm not sure, but that's what it appears. Here comes Tim Flynn, the coach down the third baseline to discuss it with plate umpire Al Nixon. And that'll send the runner back to first base, and
okay,
let's see what did happen.
Go. The attempted bunt.
That was inconclusive. We really couldn't see it. That's a possibility that he stepped on the plate. At any rate, there's one down now, and the runner at first draws a throw.
All right, Paul, I've got a trivia question for you. How do you score that?
I still think it was hit by his own batted ball. The indication was from Al Nixon that hit the thigh.
If it's that, it's a put out for the catcher.
Put out for the catcher, right. Harvey at the plate bounced out to second his first time up.
First pitch down low. Excuse me, second pitch down low. Ball two. One out here.
Short lead at first for Lane. There's a fly ball to shallow right center field. That might drop in. It does. It bounces past Dunleavy, the right fielder, picked up by Kazyaka. And on to third, and he may be nailed. The throw is bobbled over there, and safe at third is Lane. Lane had gotten up late after rounding second. I don't know whether he went down or what. No, he slid into second, realizing that he had a chance to get to third. And if the third baseman Oswald had handled that ball cleanly, he'd have been nailed over there at third base. Let's see what happened.
This inning, it was number 8. The kid who's on third base.
It was a little Texas League single to short right center field.
And you see the right fielder slip there, and that gave a couple extra seconds for the runner advancing over to third, and it was a bang-bang play.
Here's Schellenberger. And he takes one outside for a ball. Athens with another scoring opportunity. Runners at first and third, one away. We'll toss over to first base. Want to keep that runner close. Mike Harvey didn't have much of a lead over there.
Yesterday we saw many attempted pickoffs at first go errant and actually work against the pitcher.
There's a strike called on Schellenberger. McMurray leans on the knee, checks the runners. And there's a ground ball to short. They'll go to second for one. They relay to first, and it's a double play, and that gets them out of the inning. The Athens Indians, no runs, a hit and a walk, and they leave one. After an inning and a half, it's Athens 3 and Hillman 1. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Bottom of the second inning here at C.O. Brown Stadium in Battle Creek. It's 3-1 in favor of the Athens Indians as Hillman comes to bat in the bottom of the second inning. Mark Schellenberger is not going to be starting this inning. I just noticed and wasn't paying attention. It looks to me like we've got Jason Brown out there in the middle of the diamond. Going to have a switch again. Mike Harvey, just as happened yesterday, Mike Harvey has come in from right field. He'll do the catching. And Jason Brown will move into the middle of the diamond to take over for Schellenberger as the pitcher. And let's see, out in right field. Not sure who that is.
Brian Lewis, perhaps.
Brian
We'll
Lewis.
check that.
Okay, Brian Lewis in right field.
Can't see a number. He's warming up right now. Number 4, Brian Lewis. So apparently, Schellenberger was struggling with that pulled muscle.
Well, Schellenberger worked just the one inning. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits. He didn't walk anybody and didn't strike out anybody. And now Jason Brown takes over to try to protect this 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the second inning.
Now, according to my stats, Brown has 3 2/3 innings left of the 30 innings between the semifinals and the finals that he can work.
30 outs.
30 outs, excuse me, 30 outs. And so he has 3 2/3 innings left. So he cannot finish out this ball game.
No, they're going to have to bring in somebody else. Schellenberger has stayed in the game, and I believe he's over at third base. He'll replace Steve Castleman. There's a pitch outside. Brown was shaky, as I noted earlier, when he first entered the game yesterday for Schellenberger, and settled down, pitched well.
Brown 7-2 on the year, throwing 59 innings with a 2.49 ERA.
Well, the low one on that one was a wild pitch, but no harm with nobody on. Well, they changes in case you didn't catch them before. We've got Brown pitching, Lewis in right field, Harvey now catching, and Schellenberger at third. There's a squares to bunt, takes a low one, it's ball 4. Well, Brown walks the first man he faces here in the bottom of the second inning. Runner at first, nobody out. Mark McMurray, the pitcher for Hillman, will be up to bat. In high school ball, the DH is optional. In this game, both teams decided to employ a DH. He squares the bunt, takes it for a strike, the throw through to second, and he is out at second base. Well, the new catcher, Mike Harvey, gunned him down. A fine throw. Nails Greg Jones. He's out. 1 out, nobody on.
All right, here's the attempted steal. Throw down to second there in time, and the tag applied for the out. You mentioned the designated hitter, and it's quite often the case in pros. That designated hitter is always for the pitcher. But in high school, the pitcher is quite often one of the best athletes, and so oftentimes they bat and you see the designated hitter for another player.
Brown delivers low. It'll be a 1-1 count on McMurray. Another low one. Slightly built right-handed hitter and thrower, McMurray. Closes his stance a little bit and looks at one that's low again. 3-1. Brown has delivered 8 pitches and only 1 has been a strike.
As you said, really very similar when he came in yesterday. When he came in from catcher, he struggled for a while, then settled down.
He got that one in the strike zone. McMurray was taking. There's a swing and a miss, and the ball dropped, but tag made by Mike Harvey. Nope, the throw down to first. He didn't get him on the tag, and the safe at first will be McMurray. Now they're arguing. Here comes Flynn out, and I think he's going to say perhaps that he ran out of the base path on his way to first.
All right, here's the replay on it to see if he ran out of the baseline. There's the swing and the miss, and the catcher cannot quite tag him. Missed the tag there. It looks like he's right down the base path all the way, and the throw not there in time.
Oh, the call has been made. He is out, and he did indeed run out of the base path. Actually, you don't see too many runners not run out of the base path because the 45-foot mark between home and first, they're supposed to be running on the foul side of the line. Well, he wasn't. And he got called out. So they're 2 out now. And the first pitch to Dunleavy is a ball low.
Yeah, we have seen some interesting baseball. Dunleavy hitting .295 with 11 RBIs, no home runs coming into the game.
There's a ground ball left side of the infield, cut off by Schellenberger. Throw to first, he got him, and the side is retired. Nobody left on. We go to the third inning. It's Athens 3 Hillman 1. This is the MHSAA on pass. Moving to the third inning here at C.O. Brown Stadium. It's still a 3-1 ball game with Athens in front. And it'll be Jason Brown leading it off for Athens here in the top of the third inning. Brown now doing the pitching for Athens. He doubled in the game's first run in the first inning.
2-run double. Put his team out in front.
Takes the first pitch from McMurray low and inside.
It's got to be comforting to a pitcher, particularly when you're throwing, to have that lead staked.
Fly ball to right field. Coming on as a right fielder, Dunleavy makes the catch for 1 out. Going to bring up Bryant Kinney.
Kinney walked and scored that third run for Athens back in the first inning.
McMurray fires another low one. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Athens. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Hillman. And there's a called strike on Kinney. The windup, and the right-hander delivers a foul. Hit back into the stands, up behind first base.
Good crowd here. They haven't announced it. But for all these players, 50 years from now when they're telling their grandson, they played in front of 5,000 people at C.O. Brown Stadium.
2-1 pitch. Swung on a ground ball to first, under the glove of Fry on into right field. Let's see what they post out on the board. It should be an error.
Still have not posted it, but it did go right under the glove. Now they have the E3.
Oh, it's an error on the first baseman, Fry. Just didn't get the glove down enough. Maybe he was looking for a little hop there. The last hop is always the toughest one. There's Chip Dearman, the DH for Athens. A little toss to first base, and Kinney gets back.
Dearman back in the first inning was hit by a pitch. Made it over to third, but was stranded there as the inning ended.
Another toss to first base. They're suspicious of Kinney. It's been kind of a roller coaster season for this Athens team, although the last part of the trip has been very happy for them. There's a strike called on the left-handed hitting Dearman. Athens started the year losing 6 of their first 10 games. They have now won 14 in a row. They got hot at the right time. Swing and a miss by Dearman. 2 strikes.
You can look at that and say maybe it's
hitter.
just experience that brought this team along.
Possibly.
They only have 2 seniors on the team. Schellenberger and Jason Brown are the only 2 seniors, so with a young squad, they may have started slowly and gained that experience and gotten the confidence.
There's a high hopper towards second. Tim Jones has it. He flips it over to first base to get the second out. On to second goes Kinney. Ball not hit sharply enough for them to attempt to get the lead runner. Now Kinney is now at second. And the batter will be Jason Flynn, who hit that 2-run single in the first inning. Three to 1. Athens in front. They're batting in the top of the third. This is the state Class D championship game. Set by McMurray. His pitch is in for a strike. Jason at the plate is also a member of the state championship Athens track team. They won the Class D title in track and field. Jason runs the distances. There's a ground ball to second, gloved by Jones. They flip over to first, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left. After 2.5 innings, it's still Athens 3, Hillman 1. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Bottom of the third inning, it's 3-1, Athens in front of Hillman. Hillman coming to bat here against the relief pitcher, Jason Brown. In a sense, he is a relief pitcher, but he's also been a starter throughout the year, and that happens with high school teams. You don't have a relief specialist. What you have is maybe one of the other starters coming in during the course of the game. Brown, a big right-hander, delivers low, ball one. Got to keep it down on this guy. This is Jory Benak, and he is small. Benak stands 5'6", weighs 130 pounds.
.214 hitter with 7 RBIs on the year.
And there's ball two.
No home runs. Benek is not a power hitter, but looks like a lot of these players we've seen. Very scrappy.
Gets a strike in there on Benak, who wears number 1. It'll be Benak, McMurray, Matt McMurray, and KAZYAKA. The 3 up here for Hillman. There's a foul up on the roof and out of play. Pleasure to see Prince Hal Newhouser yesterday. There are a lot of scouts out yesterday, and I'm sure there will be even more here today. They're looking at juniors, really. Not now, not seniors anymore, because the free agent draft has already been held. Ground ball past the first baseman. Kinney picks it up, tosses over to Shannon, and Benak is retired. 1 down. That'll bring up Matt McMurray. But Hal Newhouser, inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. He'll be inducted at the beginning of August this year at Cooperstown. And congratulated by one and all here in Michigan. Everyone saying it was about time. It should have been done a long time ago. And I concur.
McMurray hitting .413. First time up today, flew out to center field.
One out, nobody on. 3-1. Athens has the lead. Hillman batting in the bottom of the third inning. And there's a strike called on McMurray.
That evens the count at 1-1. All our scoring in the first inning.
The ground ball up the middle near second, gloved by Jason Flynn. The toss to first, and there are 2 down. Well, execution basically plus speed is what has gotten Hillman into the championship round. And hitting has done it for the most part by Athens.
The batter's KAZYAKA.
He scored Hillman's run in the first inning, coming in on Tim Jones' double.
KAZYAKA singled and stole second to get himself in scoring position to score. Back in the first inning.
Ball didn't miss by much, but just low and away and out of the strike zone.
As we said, all the scoring in the first inning, the team seemed to have settled down, gotten those butterflies away, and playing a pretty good defensive game at this point.
Brown's pitch. Well, there's strike called.
Single, scored the run, stolen base.
Right-hander fires. There's a ground ball to second. Kenny has it. They toss over to Shannon, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Athens. After 3 innings, it's still Athens 3 and Hillman 1. This is the MHSAA on pass. Top of the 4th inning here at C.O. Brown Stadium in Battle Creek. The Class D championship game. Athens in front of Hillman, 3-1. All the scoring coming in the first inning. Both starting pitchers, or rather the starting pitcher for Hillman, Mark McMurray, settling down. Mark Schellenberger went the first inning for Athens and then left the mound but took over his spot at third base, and Jason Brown took over. Shannon leading off the 4th inning for Athens. And he takes a pitch outside for ball 1.
Shannon hitting .417, 22 RBIs and 4 homers.
A fly ball lifted to left center field, fairly deep. KAZYAKA over, he makes the catch. The right center fielder making the catch on Shannon's fly ball. 1 out. And here's Tim Lane.
Next batter for the Indians, the left fielder, number 8, Tim
Lee, Lane walked leading off the second inning, but was stranded at third.
Right-hander McMurray ready. And the first pitch comes in a little high. Athens got 3 runs on 2 hits in the first inning. They've had just 1 hit since. 1-1 count now on Tim Lane. Super years for both these schools that prior to this year had never gotten out of the regionals before. Ball 2, strike 1 now on Lane. So whoever wins today will be a first-time Class D champion. Low for ball 3. 3-1 on Lane. 1 out, nobody on here in the 4th inning. Lane hitting .286. And that one missed, and he's on with a walk. That's the 4th walk given up by McMurray. He walked 2 and hit a batter in the first inning.
Second time that Tim Lane has walked in this ball game.
Here comes Shane Schwartz. He is 0 for 1. He walked and then was hit by his own batted ball in the second inning.
A strange play as he had beaten it out, but the umpire had already made the call at the plate.
There's a bunt off the mound. Comes McMurray. He'll go to second, and it is just in time to get the lead runner. Schwartz trying to move that runner along, pushed it too much in the direction of the pitcher McMurray. Oh, that'll bring up Harvey.
Here we have that attempted bunt where he tried to move that runner along back to the pitcher. And the throw down to the shortstop covering in time for the force.
Toss to first base, and Schwartz gets back. McMurray sets now, fires to first again. Three to 1, Athens in the lead. They're batting in the top of the 4th inning. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to second is not in time. He's safe. A steal for Schwartz. Good throw, really, by Matt McMurray.
Schwartz had a pretty good jump on this one. So a chance now for Mike Harvey with a runner in scoring position and 2 out to bring home the run.
Harvey 1 for 2 today. Going away. And it's a 2-0 count on Harvey. The catcher started in right field here this morning. The first of 4 state championship baseball games here in Brown Stadium today. There's a pitch in the dirt. On to third goes the runner. The throw is not in time. He's in safely. I think we're going to have to charge the pitcher with a wild pitch on that one.
It was down in the dirt. And maybe we'll see that here. That pitch did bounce in front of the plate.
Yep.
So Schwartz down at third now with a 2-1 count and 2 outs.
A pitch from McMurray popped foul behind the plate, and it's caught, I believe. Yes. Good play by Matt McMurray. Ball came down. He kind of cradled it. He got it on the heel of the mitt, but managed to hang on for the final out of the 4th inning. So Athens gets a man to third, and he's left there. After 3.5 innings, it's still Athens 3, Hillman 1. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
No errors, 1 man left on base.
Bottom of the 4th inning coming up here at C.O. Brown Stadium in the Bailey Park Complex in Battle Creek. What a fine layout this is, Mike Carey. Got all these softball diamonds. They've got a total of 8 will be ready for play by the end of the summer. Right now they've got 4 softball fields, and they've got 2 excellent baseball stadiums here. Nichols Field adjacent to Brown Stadium. That's a perfect setup for semifinal play yesterday and then for the finals in the big stadium here today.
Great for a weekend tournament where you can bring all the teams into one site and all the fans, and really have an excellent chance for all the crowds to get some great baseball and softball.
Yes. Tim Jones leads off the bottom of the 4th for Hillman. They're trailing 3-1. Jones accounted for Hillman's only run with his first inning RBI double. Jason Brown on the mound. He has issued a walk, and that's been it since he took over. There's the ball inside, and it's a 2-0 count on the leadoff man, Jones.
Jones, a .430 hitter, 4 RBIs, decent power, and 4 home runs and 29 RBIs on the year.
Fastball in too close, and he's behind the hitter with a 3-0 count.
But as we said, we didn't see anything very close to a home run in this stadium yesterday. And the wind isn't going to help anybody today.
And there's a walk, 4 straight pitches. Jones is on. Second walk issued by Jason Brown. Brown walked the first man he faced, leading off the second inning. Greg Jones was cut down attempting to steal. Now they've got Tim Jones on with nobody out. John FRYE, F-R-Y-E. Right-handed hitter at the plate for Hillman. There's a pitch inside. Throw down to first, and Jones gets back. Jones tries to get his lead over here at first base. Look over the shoulder by Brown. He's going, and the pitch is taken. Throw to second, not in time. It'll be a steal there, and a called strike on the batter, FRYE.
Excellent steal by Tim Jones. Got a good break on this. Watch the replay here.
For the next game, we still got an extra
Can't see his break on the pitcher, but you can see there he's in plenty of time.
Now Hillman has a man at second down, scoring position with nobody out. They're trailing 3-1.
Get a better pitcher.
Now look to second. Brown's pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Harvey.
You know what, Mark? Do I have a I don't have a focus controller. Do I?
Again, another set. Look to second.
It's not in the case.
And it's ball 2. 2-2 now on FRYE.
So I can see why my focus is going out, because I got to zoom from up here. And sometimes when I, get some fast
Jason
action,
Brown readies.
my hand hits the focus.
Fastball a little high, and the count's gone full. Well, they had 2 strikes on him.
See if I can get a zoom.
And he's in danger of losing the batter, FRYE.
Much tougher to concentrate on that batter when you've got a guy down standing on second base behind you. He's divided attention there. Lost a couple of pitches on the corner.
There's a high hopper towards second, fielded by Kenny behind the bag. The throw goes to first in time to get FRYE. And on to third goes Tim Jones.
And that'll bring up the third baseman, Mark Oswald, who grounded out to short to end the first inning. He now has that runner down at third base in scoring position with 1 out. Grounded out, 0 for 1 on the day officially, and we'll see if he wants to lay one down here.
Got good speed at third base. There's a ground ball to short, gloved by Flynn. The throw goes to first. They concede the run. Playing back in the middle of the infield. Oh, it's now a 3-2 ball game. An RBI for Mark Oswald on his bounce out to short. And the bases are empty now with 2 out. And Greg Jones coming to the plate. Tim Jones comes in to move Hillman to within 1 at 3-2.
Greg Jones walked back in the
pitch.
second inning.
And it's strike one on Jones.
Jones 344 batting average.
Fly ball lifted to shallow right. Out goes Kinney, coming in Shannon, or rather Lewis, and he makes the catch. The right fielder hauls it in. So Hillman gets a run without a hit. In the bottom of the fourth inning, they've cut the lead. It's now Athens 3, Hillman 2. We'll go to the fifth. This is the MHSAA on pass.
Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware Stores, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program. And by the Michigan Cable Television Association.
Top of the fifth inning here at Brown Stadium, the Class D championship game between Hillman and Athens. It's a one-run ball game now as we move into the top of the fifth. Athens coming to bat, and it will be Mark Schellenberger leading it off for Athens. He's the number 3 hitter in the order. Schellenberger 0 for 2 today, takes a pitch high and inside. Mark McMurray on the mound for Hillman has gone all the way. He's yielded 3 hits, walked 4, and struck out a pair. There's a ground ball to short. Under the glove of Greg Jones in the left field. It'll be an error on the shortstop. Schellenberger reaches on the error. Pretty much a routine play at short, and Greg Jones did not field it. Now Athens has their leadoff man on base, and Jason Brown is due up next.
I believe we're going to get a courtesy runner here.
Okay, we're getting a runner for Athens. And that's Jason Bailey.
That's correct.
He comes in to run for Mark Schellenberger.
Now McMurray will work from the stretch. And the pitch is high. Throw down to first base. Bailey slides back in head first. Brown had squared to bunt that pitch, but it was way out of his reach. 3-2, Athens has the lead. Would like to add a run right here in the top of the fifth. There's a bunt popped in the air. The catcher dropped the ball. I think, no, he made the catch.
No,
he dropped it. Now he throws to first, and on to second goes the runner, Bailey. A little pop bunt down the third base line. He had it for a moment and then went down on the dirt and dropped the ball. And
we'll see the attempted
Brown was
bunt.
not running all the way.
The bunt up in the air. The catcher had it for a second, bobbled it, dropped it, as you can see there. Then had the presence of mind to throw to first to try to get Jason Brown. And in the meantime, the runner, Jason Bailey, who was running down to second, and made it easily.
There's a ground ball bobbled by the second baseman, Tim Jones, and everybody's safe. On to third goes Bailey. The runners at first and third. As Kenny is safe on the error by the second baseman. Second error in the inning committed by Athens. Actually, Matt McMurray had time to get that lead runner on that popped bunt by Jason Brown. I'll have to give Brown a sacrifice on it anyway.
He did get the runner down to second. I don't think it was the exact way he wanted to.
No, that's right. So now Bailey, the runner over at third base. Kenny at first, 1 out. Dearman hits a short hopper to the second baseman. The throw goes into left field. 1 run is scored. On to third goes Kenny. And holding at first is Dearman. It's now a 4-2 lead for Athens.
And again, we'll wait and see, but I assume they're going to give the error to the second baseman on the throw, allowing that run to score. Also having Kinney move on the play all the way over to third, and Dearman safe at first. Everything's falling apart here.
Yes, I think we're going to have to give the error to on the throw. Dearman safe at first, and the run scores on the air. Kenny moving all the way over to third.
He would have been the man forced out at second, and it appeared that the throw was down and in the dirt. Shortstop could not handle it. Greg Jones coming over could not handle the low throw. It scooted on into center field. And Kinney moving on the play, went all the way over to third. Dearman is now at first, so you got him at the corners with one out. And we're going to have a pitching change.
We're going to have a pitching change here. Tim Jones, who has been playing second base, moves from there over to the mound. And Shane Schwartz, I beg your pardon, not Schwartz, but Jory Benak, who had been the DH, will be the second baseman now for Hillman. Now let's hear this. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Back in the top of the fifth inning, Tim Jones will be your new pitcher for Hillman. And we're ready to go here. As the umpire checking. Jones has given up 27 hits. He's pitched 44 and 2/3 innings, given up 15 runs, 8 of them, and a 1.25 ERA.
That was before yesterday's game, in which he went all the way with a 7-inning, 6-hit shutout against Oakland Christian.
We should mention that those stats are prior to the regional tournament, so the stats will change a little bit, and his ERA is going to go down with that shutout.
Well, there have been 3 errors in this fifth inning, and that's permitted Athens to score a run. They've got runners at first and third with 1 out, and they now lead Hillman 4-2. Coach Dave Checkley told Mike and me before the game that Tim Jones would indeed see action on the mound at some point in the game here today, and he's in there now. Throw to first, and Bryant Kenny gets back safely. Kenny over at third base. Chip Dearman, the DH, at first. Now Mark McMurray with 4 1/3 innings. There's a swing and a miss by Jason Flynn.
One thing we did not do yesterday was to try and sneak down and look at the gun on any of these pitchers. Be interesting to see what kind of speed. It looks like he's got a little more speed than McMurray.
There's a strike called. Well, I think my score sheet has gone a little haywire too. The scorer must have given a hit to somebody somewhere along the line in this inning, but I'm charging him with 3 errors so far. There's a ground ball down the third base side, charged by Jones. A throw to first is in time for the put out, and a run scores. And it's now 5-2 Athens. Jason Flynn gets an RBI on his bounce out to the shortstop. On to second goes Dearman. So Flynn gets his 3rd RBI in the game. 5-2 in favor of Athens. And the batter will be the first baseman, Dave Shannon.
We have a change if you're keeping score at home. They're going to give that Kinney a single rather than an error on the second baseman.
Okay. So Bryant Kinney is awarded a base hit and wipe away one of the 2 errors that I'd had listed for Tim Jones in this inning. Runner at second with 2 down. Jones delivers a breaking ball inside. There have been 2 errors now on a base hit and 2 runs scored for Athens. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He knocks it down, picks it up. They toss to first, and that retires the side. But Athens picks up a couple of big runs here in the top of the 5th inning, and after 4 1/2, it's now Athens 5, Hillman 2. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Yeah.
Schellenberger banners, that's it.
Yeah. Moving to the bottom of the 5th inning in the Class D state championship game. Athens in front now 5-2, adding a couple of runs to their lead in the top half of this inning. Schellenberger, who was the starting pitcher for Athens, had been removed for a pinch runner in the top of the inning, but he's back in on the re-entry rule, back in playing third base. Mark McMurray, scheduled to be the leadoff hitter.
Who's the hitter?
McMurray hitting .413 with 11 RBIs and 1 home run.
Who's the hitter, Brian?
There's a ground ball over second base and knocked down by Kenny. He'll have no play anywhere. And McMurray is safe. It'll be an infield hit for McMurray.
Here's the replay on that. A high chopper over the pitcher. He had no chance for it, and deep behind second base. Actually, an excellent play by second baseman Kinney to keep that ball from going all the way into center field and perhaps allowing McMurray to get a double out of it.
Well, the batter will be Dunleavy, little right fielder. Brown delivers. There's a foul back into the stands, out of play. Breeze beginning to pick up a little bit.
Blowing ever so slightly from the left field corner over toward right field.
Maybe it's changing direction, Mike. I'm feeling a little bit of a breeze over here.
Maybe swirling a little bit.
Little toss to first base, and McMurray is back safely. 5 runs on 4 hits with no errors for Athens. 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for Hillman. There's a bunt off to the right of the mound, bobbled by the pitcher Brown. He picks it up now, throws badly to first base, gets past the first baseman, on to third, and being waved home now is McMurray. Here's the throw to the plate, and he scores. On to third now is Dunleavy. The throw, he's out. Well, they couldn't afford to lose that base runner, but they did as Dunleavy tried to get that extra base. It was a bunt to begin with by Dunleavy, but a bad throw by Jason Brown, and that set up the scoring of the run.
Here you see the bunt. The pitcher slipped, didn't get the ball cleanly, threw to first. That got by first baseman, and also got by the second baseman covering, and that allowed the runner to move all the way home. McMurray and Dunleavy. There you see the throw coming home. Now Dunleavy over on the throw to third. There's the runner scoring in plenty of time.
There's a line drive base hit by Benak. Takes a big turn at first. He's headed for second. He may make it. The throw is not in time. He's in with a double. Well, Benak gets into scoring position with a 2-base hit. It's 5-3 Athens with 1 out. There'll be no RBI on that run that brought in Mark McMurray. He scored on the throwing error by the pitcher, Jason Brown. Dunleavy gets a sacrifice and moved to second on the error and then was cut down trying to advance another base. And now man at second, Benak, and to the top of the order, Mac McMurray. He's 0 for 2. Hillman trying to come back at him. Jason Brown checks the runner at second and pitches. It's ball 1.
This telecast is a copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, the Michigan Cable Television Association, and Pro-Am Sports. No reproduction of the pictures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Pro-Am Sports.
Brown behind on the hitter now. It's a 2-0 count on Matt McMurray. There's the pitch from Brown. There's a smash into right field, a base hit. Benak is being waved around third. He's drawing a throw. The throw is offline. Benak scores. On to second goes Matt McMurray. He takes the turn and heads for third. Here's the throw to third, and he's going to be caught. Tagged out by Schellenberger over there. Well, that's 2 runners have been caught trying to get to third base in this inning. But Matt McMurray gets a single, moved to second on the throw in, and then is caught down trying to get another base. It's 5-4 now. Athens lead cut to 1. But there are 2 out, nobody on base.
All right, they're going to pick this up here with the throw from the outfield going home, and you can see it gets by the catcher, goes all the way to the backstop. And then McMurray on the overthrow tries to go all the way to third and is out at third for the second out of the inning.
That put out at third will go right fielder to the catcher to the third baseman. Here's Steve Kazyaka. He swings and lifts one into shallow right or left center field. Drops in for a base hit. Oh, Kazyaka keeps the inning alive with his second hit of the game. Runner at first with 2 down. That's the 4th hit in the inning for Hillman. And the batter will be Tim Jones, who started out this game playing second base and is now the pitcher for Hillman. He has doubled in a run and drawn a walk and scored a run. And a tough inning for Jason Brown out there in the middle of the diamond. Pretty good sized lead at first for Kazyaka, and he draws a throw, dives back in. Look to first by Brown. His pitch is taken. On to second goes the runner, and it's a steal. So Kazyaka has the tying run in scoring position down at second base.
Kazyaka going on the pitch. Checks that runner, and there's the runner Kazyaka going down, and the pitch was bobbled down at the plate. He made it in plenty of time.
1 strike the count on Jones. There's a pickoff attempt at second base. Back safely is Kazyaka.
And that wind has swirled around a little bit. It's actually coming into our face on the first base side a little.
Doesn't feel bad at all, does it, Mike?
Got papers going all over the place, but that's
a little wind noise on the microphones. 2 out, a runner at second base. 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss. That was the fastball by Brown, and a good cut at the plate by Jones. Pretty good sized lead down at second for Kazyaka. Fly ball lifted to right field. It's deep. Lewis going back in the corner. He won't get to it. It's off the fence. That'll tie the ball game. Jones round second. He's headed for third. Kinney's throw will not be in time. A run-scoring triple, and it's a 5-5 game.
He got that one up, and the wind certainly didn't hurt it. It didn't push it any, but that was well hit over the right fielder's head. Brian Lewis, he had no chance to get it. Fielded it off the fence, and Jones with pretty good quickness getting all the way to third with a stand-up triple and the RBI to tie the game at 5.
And we've got a conference now. Tim Flynn, the coach of Athens, has gone out to talk to Jason Brown. Schellenberger in there along with Harvey. That's 5 hits in this inning off Brown, and they have produced 3 runs that have tied this game at 5-5. Flynn setting up the defense before he heads around and goes back to the Athens dugout.
And now getting the word from the home plate umpire on the number of visits that he can make to the pitcher. 2 in 1 inning, or 3 to the same pitcher before he must lift him.
Doesn't have to take him out of the game. He could just
lift him as the pitcher.
Has to move him from one position to another.
In fact, more likely that you would see that he would move him to a different position as opposed to pulling him out of the game entirely.
There's John Fry looking for his first hit of the game. Tim Jones represents the lead run at third base. There's a foul out of play. Fry has been up twice. Each time he's grounded out to second. Brown's pitch. There's a line drive right center field. Over comes the center fielder. He won't get it. It's past Schwartz. Hillman is in the lead on to second. Headed for third now is FRYE. And there'll be no relay. He's in standing at third with a triple. Back-to-back triples. And Hillman has the lead now 6-5.
Again, Jones scoring easily on the triple by John FRYE. That one got between right and center fielders. Went all the way to the warning track. Just out of the reach of Shane Schwartz. Coming over from center field. He couldn't quite get there. Brian Lewis tried to chase it down, but it got between them all the way to the outfield fence. And FRYE moves over to third. He's in scoring position with still 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Now left-handed hitting Mark Oswald up, and he takes a strike.
Oswald's 0 for 2, has grounded out twice to shortstop this morning.
That's a wide one, and it's a 1-1 count now on Oswald. 6 hits in this inning for Hillman. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Right-hander Brown looks over at third, checks the runner and pitches. There's a high hopper, deep short, off the arm of Jason Flynn. Another run scores, and Oswald is safe at first base. It goes as a hit. I don't think Flynn had a chance to get Oswald. The ball was hit on a high hop to very deep shortstop. It's now 7-5 in favor of Hillman.
Jason Flynn tried to knock that one down, but I think you're right. Even had he been able to field it cleanly, he was so deep at short that he had very little chance to get the runner. We're going to get a pinch runner here. Coming in for the Hillman Tigers will be Dave Stewart. And you see him over at first base now, stretching.
So Oswald gets a base hit and an RBI, giving him 2 runs batted in for the game. A big inning for Hillman. They've come up with 5 runs. Runner at first, 2 out. Here's the 9th man to come to the plate, Greg Jones. And he takes a strike. Brown pitches. Low, good pickup by Harvey.
And as we saw in most of the games yesterday, no lead is very comfortable. Had a 5-3 lead for Athens going into the bottom of this inning.
They've had 6 straight hits in this inning. Count of 2-1 now on the right-handed hitting Greg Jones. A little toss to first. Back easily is the pinch runner Stewart.
Most of the damage has come after the second out.
Yes. Look to first and the pitch. Popped in the air. That should end the inning. First baseman Shannon calling for it. He makes the catch, and that does retire the side. But a big inning as Hillman bats around, and they come up with 5 runs on a total of 7 hits. It's now Hillman 7, Athens 5. This is the MHSAA on pass. Now this game kicks off a great week of high school baseball and softball state championship action here on Pro-Am Sports. We'll have the Class A and D softball finals on Tuesday night, followed by Class A baseball on Friday. The Class B and C softball and Class C baseball finales on Saturday, and the Class B baseball championship on Sunday. Join us all week long as the best in high school championship sports coverage continues here on Pass. And this game continues. It's the 6th inning and a different look on the scoreboard. Hillman in front of Athens 7-5 as Athens tries to come back now in the top of the 6th. Tim Lane leading it off. Swing and a foul. Lane does not have a time at bat in this game. He's been up twice and each time has drawn a walk. Interestingly, Mike, Dave Checkley, the coach of Hillman, now has the pitcher that he wants in there at this time of the game, and he's got him a lead. Tim Jones back in there. He turned in that shutout in the semis against Oakland Christian. A high one from Jones. 1-1 count on Lane. Here's the windup by Jones. Right-hander deals, and there's a ground ball up the middle into center field. A base hit for Lane.
So the action continues with teams heating up after a couple of scoreless innings back in the second and third. You see the single up the middle here. The bats coming alive in the fifth inning and now here in the sixth.
Oh, a man on, nobody out. And here's Shane Schwartz. First, he going to watch a throw go over to first base. And Lane gets back easily. Seven to 5, Hillman in front. The pitch from Jones. Ground ball up the middle, near second, gloved by Jones. Touches second, throws to first. It's a double play for Hillman. That ball was perfect as far as Hillman is concerned. Ground ball to Greg Jones as he went over toward second base. Tagged the bag and went on to first to complete the double play.
Here you go. They'll see the grounder to Jones as he is able to make that play at second, and the following throw to first to complete the double play.
So now 2 out, nobody on, and here's Mike Harvey at the plate. He ducks out of the way of that one.
Harvey grounded out in the first inning, singled in the second, and fouled out in the fourth inning.
Little tap down the third baseline, rolling near the bag, fielded by Oswald. The throw to first is a wild one. Over the head of Fry, on to second will go Harvey, and he'll hold at second. It's a base hit, and then the throwing error by Oswald enables Harvey to get that extra base. So a man at second with 2 out, and here's Mark Schellenberger, who started this game as the pitcher for Athens. But after 1 inning's worth, he moved over to third base. There's a trouble with a pulled muscle in his right side.
He has scored 1 run this afternoon, that back in the fifth inning.
And he takes the first pitch for a ball.
Schellenberger struck out in the first, grounded into a double play in the second, reached error on an error in the fifth inning, and that's the inning he scored the run.
There's a called strike, 1-1. Tim Jones on the mound is a perfect 8-0 according to our figures, counting that shutout win yesterday. Hillman lost only 1 game this season, and that was a 1-0 loss to Hale. There's another called strike. Short lead out at second base by Mike Harvey. They need base runners. They trail 7-5. The pitch, fly ball lifted to right field. Right there is Dunleavy waiting. It's right through the glove. Rolling behind him. A run will score. Schellenberger digs for second. Now heads for third as Dunleavy fell down. And into third safely goes Schellenberger. Harvey scores. It'll be an error all the way on the right fielder. A 3-base error charged to Mike Dunleavy.
And as we said earlier, no lead is big enough. 2 outs again. Man at second and scores on the air. And from a fan's point, this is a great ball game to watch. If you're a pitching coach, it's a nightmare, but the fans love it. A lot of scoring.
There's a drive toward left center field coming over. Won't get it. It drops in. The game is tied as Jason Brown delivers the tying run with a base hit to left center. Schellenberger scoring from third.
And you can can hear quite a roar. We're sitting next to the stands and the fans from Athens who are happy at this point.
They've come right back after allowing 5 Hillman runs on the bottom of the 5th inning. Athens has come back to tie the game with 2, and they're still up with 2 out here on the top of the 6th inning. Got a pinch runner coming in for Jason Brown.
Matt Underwood is going to be running.
Right. Jones into the set. Throw over to first base, Underwood back. Another throw. That's a little closer, but he's back in time. Snap toss by Jones. The batter is Bryant Kinney, who has walked, was safe on an error, and singled. He takes for a ball.
He's also scored 2 runs this afternoon, scoring in the 1st inning and again in the 5th.
High stretch by Jones. And it's taken for a ball, 2-0. Athens has come up with 3 base hits. And Hillman has contributed a couple of errors in this inning. There's ball 3. The 3-0 pitch. And Kinney is taking, he gets a strike. 3-1. Lane led off this inning with a base hit, and then Schwartz bounced into a double play, but that's when Athens got it going with Harvey's single, keeping the inning alive. And there's ball 4. That'll put 2 men on. That's the first walk issued by Tim Jones since he came on with 1 out in the 5th inning.
And the designated hitter, Chip Dearman, will step up with now men at 1st and 2nd and 2 away.
Dearman looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2, plus having been hit by a pitched ball. There's a pop foul over toward the Hillman dugout, and it won't be in play. Back up into the stands.
The runners have to go back, and there's 1 strike on Dearman. Said the bat's suddenly coming alive here in the 5th and 6th innings after a couple of scoreless innings. First inning had 4 runs scored, then things settled down defensively. Now the bat's coming alive again. And a couple of errors sprinkled in there to keep things alive.
Dearman up. 2 men on. And that one around the knees, but in too close. They look to second now by Jones. He pitches. There's a fly ball lifted to shallow left field. Charlie Davis coming in, staggers a bit, now makes the catch. And that retires the side, but Athens has come up with a couple of runs. And after 5.5 innings, it's now a tie game. Athens 7, Hillman 7. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
Back at the Class D state finals, one of the supporters of the MHSAA Championship Network is Spirit Etc. of East Lansing, which has donated the apparel for our broadcast crew here at today's finals. Spirit Etc. also produces the official finals shirts for all MHSAA championships. And our game all tied 7-7 now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 7 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for Athens. 7 runs, 9 hits, 5 errors for Hillman.
Along with Mike Carey, this is Paul Carey. Class D Championship Baseball, Hillman up in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Mark McMurray takes the first pitch for a strike. McMurray got that big 5-run 5th inning underway by getting an infield hit. Scored the first of 5 runs. There's another strike on McMurray.
Hillman batting around in that inning, scoring those 5 runs.
The pitch from Jason Brown is taken low. He wasted one there. 1-2 on McMurray.
McMurray struck out back in the second inning and singled and scored a run in the fifth. Hitting .250 on the year with 3 RBIs, no homers.
And that'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch from Jason Brown. Dunleavy on deck, and he's scheduled to be followed by Benak here in the Hillman 6th inning. 7-7 tie. There's a ground ball hit hard to the first baseman Shannon. He bobbles it, picks it up, touches the bag, and McMurray is out number 1. That ball hit very sharply to the first baseman, Dave Shannon. Here's the right fielder, Mike Dunleavy. All for 1 plus a sacrifice for Dunleavy. Here's the pitch from Brown, and it's taken for a strike. Athens got 3 runs in the first inning. Hillman came back with 1. Hillman added a run in the 4th inning, and then Athens scored twice in the top of the 5th, but Hillman countered with 5 in their 5th inning. Athens then tied it up again with 2 in the 7th, or 2 in the top of the 6th inning. Now it's the bottom of the 6th on a count of 1-1 on Mike Dunleavy. A weak swing by Dunleavy.
Tried to hold up there and just couldn't get the bat stuck.
Now the pitch from Brown, that's in the dirt.
Well, this game is reminiscent for the game yesterday for Athens, where they went back and forth with Traverse City St. Francis. Hillman, on the other hand, kind of cruised on their shutout win.
Now Brown pitches. There's a ground ball left side off the glove of the third baseman Schellenberger. He picks it up too late. No play at first. And that'll be an error charged to the third baseman Schellenberger. Tried to cut that ball off. Hit slowly toward short. Here's Jory Benak, who began the game as the DH. He is now the second baseman.
You see that chopper that cut off, or attempted cut off, by Schellenberger. Couldn't quite come up with it as he cut in front of shortstop.
A man on, a man out. Tossed to first base, and scrambling back was Dunleavy. Hillman would really like to get Dunleavy down to second base, get him in scoring position. 7-7 tie, bottom of the 6th inning. There he goes, and it's taken for a ball. They throw to second. He slides. He is safe at second. A steal for Dunleavy.
Stolen base puts that runner down at second base in scoring position with 1 out. And we'll see that steal by Dunleavy. The throw a little bit to the third base side, and that allowed the runner to slide in underneath.
Brown goes to the set and fires outside. 2-0, the count on Benak. B-E-N-A-C. Jory, the first name. J-O-R-Y. Brown's pitch. Swung on and missed. That one up around the eyes.
Benak coming in with a .214 average and 7 RBIs. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Had a double and scored a run in the 5th.
Brown pitches. There's a fly ball lifted to center field. Charging it is Schwartz. Now backs up a bit. Makes the catch. It started to sail on him. Holding at second is Dunleavy. So there are 2 out. Runner at second. And the batter will be Matt McMurray.
We've commented on the fact that not too much wind, at least not where we're sitting, but I get the idea that wind may be swirling out there. The outfielders all seem to be having some problems with that ball carrying.
McMurray drove in a run with a base hit in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. The pitch from Brown is taken for ball 1. McMurray is the catcher of the Hillman Tigers. His younger brother, Mark McMurray, the freshman, was the starting pitcher for this game for Hillman. Another low one to him, and it's 2-0.
You think they got together way back when and said, look, I'll catch and you pitch and we can work out all summer that way?
Maybe. Jason Brown on the mound for Athens, checks the runner at second and pitches. And another low one, it's 3-0. First of 4 state championship baseball games here at Brown Stadium. And there's ball 4. That'll put 2 men on.
All right, videotapes of the title games of the 1992 MHSAA baseball finals are available on videotape for purchase through an arrangement with the Michigan Cable Television Association. Each game will be available in VHS format at a cost of $29.95, which includes all taxes and handling charges. When ordering, be sure to indicate the sport and the class of the game desired. Orders may be directed to High School Championships, P.O. Box 2249, Livonia, Michigan 48150, and the check should be made payable to High School Championships. Please allow 2 to 4 weeks for delivery. And there you may see the little conference on the mound. Once again, Coach Flynn out there, Tim Flynn, talking to his pitcher, Jason Brown, settling him down here in the bottom of the 6th with the game all tied at 7.
Tim Flynn in his 16th year as head baseball coach at Athens High School. 2 men on, 2 out. The pitch, and it is taken for ball 1 by Steve KAZYAKA. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Has a couple of stolen bases in the game, and he scored twice. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 6th. Game tied at 7. Strike called on KAZYAKA. KAZYAKA. Steve KAZYAKA. Brown's pitch, ground ball foul, ripped past first base.
This is the first of 4 championship games here today at C.O. Brown Stadium.
Dunleavy at second, McMurray at first. 2 down on a 1-2 count on the hitter. There's a ball, and it's dropped by the catcher, Harvey, but not far enough for any advance. That'll even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good play by Harvey to keep it close and really keep those runners from moving up with 2 outs.
Pitch, another low one, and it's a full count. Well, this will loosen up the runners. A full count on the hitter, KAZYAKA, 2 out. Game tied 7-7 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brown sets, pitches, pop foul, out of play behind the plate.
There you see the runners having to go back with a 3-2 count and 2 out. Everybody moving on the pitch.
Class A title game coming up next here at Brown Stadium as Birmingham Brother Rice against Lapeer West. Later in the day, it'll be Blissfield against Saginaw Novell for the C title, and Divine Child of Dearborn facing Wyoming Park for the B title. Pop foul over this way, and it is caught by Shannon. Good catch by the first baseman for Athens, and that retires the side. 2 men left. After 5.5 innings, or after 6 innings, it is now Athens 7, Hillman 7. This is the MHSAA on pass. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll have the first 2 championship games of our state final softball coverage here on Pro-Am Sports. The Class A title bout between Plymouth Canton and Jenison will air at 7:30, followed by the Class D finale between Waterford Our Lady and Mendon at 9. Stay with us all week as the best in high school championship sports coverage continues here on Pass. And this one continues to the 7th and final inning. Class D championship baseball, and it's all tied up. Athens 7, Hillman 7. Athens will bat in the top of the 7th inning.
As we look around, I do not see any changes defensively for the Tigers of Hillman.
Jason Flynn leads it off here in the top of the 7th for Athens. He's the shortstop, 3 RBIs for him in this game. Swing and a miss by Jason. He singled in 2 runs in the 1st inning. And on a ground out in the 5th, he got another run in for Athens. Seesaw type game. It's all tied at 7.
Flynn hitting .370 with 1 homer and 11 RBIs.
Ground ball to short, charged by Greg Jones. He has it throw to first in time to get Jason Flynn. 1 up and 1 away. Now Dave Shannon, who made a fine catch of that pop foul ending the 6th inning, will be up for Athens.
Now batting for Athens, first baseman, number 16, Dave Shannon.
Breaking ball is high for ball 1. Shannon looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly to center, and a bounce out to the pitcher. There's a smash up the middle, and it's in the center field.
Shannon was hitting .417, and as you said, looking for his first hit. You thought he was going to break through, and he did with a smash up the middle.
1 out, 1 on. And I think we're going to get a change here. A runner for Shannon.
Jarek Jones coming in to run.
For the Indians, the left fielder, number 8, Tim Lane.
Well, Jones, the pinch runner.
Both coaches pulling out all stops here in the 7th inning, trying to get that potential winning run. Get that speed down the base paths. Oh, here's the throw to first. It gets by the first baseman.
That'll move Jones down to second. So Athens gets a man in scoring position on the throwing error. It's the 6th error of the game committed by Hillman. Up to second, the pitch. And it's taken for ball 1.
Tim Lane with a couple of walks today and a single.
There's a high hopper to the right side of the infield. Waiting is Benak. He has to go to first base for it. The runner moves on to third. With 2 out, Athens has a man just 90 feet away from scoring a go-ahead run.
Back to the top of the batting order for the Athens Indians. It'll be Shane Schwartz, who scored the first run of the ball game back in the 1st inning as he led it off with a walk and stole second.
Looking for his first hit of the game. The pitch from Jones. Swung on and missed.
Like that might have been a changeup. Schwartz way out in front of it.
Here's the windup by Tim Jones. His pitch is swung on and missed. 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that takes Athens out of the inning as Jones comes up with a big strikeout, leaving a potential go-ahead run at third base. Well, for Athens, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and a man left. And we go to the last of the 7th inning with this game all tied up. Still 7 for Athens, 7 for Hillman.
One of the programs sponsored by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, which truly underscores the value of educational athletics, is the Scholar Athlete Award, sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance. 23 young men and women were honored with $1,000 college scholarships. Andrew Johnson of Forest Hills Northern High School in Grand Rapids was the recipient of this year's scholarship in baseball. Students interested in applying for the Scholar Athlete Award for 1992-93 should contact their high school principal.
Well, this is it for Hillman. Bottom of the 7th inning, a chance to pull it out in regulation. This game is all tied at 7-7 for the Class D state championship. Due up in this inning for Hillman, Tim Jones, John FRYE, and Mark Oswald, all of whom have driven in runs with hits in this game. It came in the 5th inning when Hillman batted around and scored 5 times on 7 hits, including a run-scoring triple by Jones, a run-scoring triple by FRYE, and an RBI single by Oswald. They're the 3 to face Jason Brown here in the 7th inning. Brown took over in the 2nd inning for Mark Schellenberger and had really only trouble in that 5th inning when Hillman came up with 5 runs.
It was an interesting inning. In addition to the 5 runs that were scored, 2 runners were thrown out at third attempting to take that extra base, so it might have been even more scoring.
Now fans from both Hillman and Athens are on their feet, imploring their teams to do well here in the bottom of the 7th.
You mentioned it before. We've got excellent crowd support here for both teams. And the sportsmanship has been tremendous here. They have been not negative in any fashion, just really trying to pull for their own team to get that hit to win it.
Interesting note, Tim Jones, who is the pitcher of record right now for Hillman, has just 1 out left.
I was going to say, he had, I believe we had him at 3 2/3 innings in his pocket, if you will. But I do not see anybody warming up.
No. Jason Brown getting an extra toss. Tim Jones steps in. He is 2 for 2, including an RBI double, a run-scoring triple. He has scored twice, walked, stolen the base. The pitch to Jones, and he takes it for a strike.
Say Brown gets an out here, and we see nobody warming up. Does that mean Mark Schellenberger is probably going to come in from third base since they have no one warming up in the bullpen?
It's very possible. And there's a ball. It's 1-1.
Remember, Schellenberger started yesterday and pulled the muscle, pitched 1 inning today, and then moved over to third.
There's another strike called. 1-2 now on Tim Jones. All tied up, 7-7, bottom of the 7th inning. Brown nods, has the sign he wants, and pitches. It's high for ball 2. Third baseman Schellenberger over toward the line a little bit, about even with the bag. There's ball 3. So the count is full on the leadoff man, Tim Jones. Brown rocks, pitches, and that's ball 4. Drove him back. The pitch got past the catcher, Harvey, but holding it first will be Jones with a walk.
We're getting word that Brown has 3 outs left. Tim Jones has 1 out left. So Brown can get them through this inning, and if they go to extra innings, then Hillman has got to work on what they're going to do, because Tim Jones can only pitch to only get the one out.
Yep. Here's John FRYE. He's 1 for 3. Tripled in a run his last time up. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken low. They throw to second. Safe. It's a steal and an important one for Tim Jones. He's in scoring position now with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And Jason Brown behind the 8-ball a little bit. That leadoff batter walking the leadoff man. They always talk about the pitcher getting himself in trouble with those leadoff walks, and particularly when you follow it up with a stolen base. He's down in scoring position, nobody out. So in effect, you are 2 sacrifice flies away from a winning ball game. Little delay here. Now they do some equipment adjustment. Now we're ready to go. Nobody out. Let's see if we can get that replay of the steal. Here's the throw to the plate. Throw down to second, not in time, a little bit high, and the runner down there in time.
FRYE waiting on Jason Brown. Here's the pitch, and it's low. 2-0 on Brown. Or 2-0 on FRYE, that is. There's a tapper down the third base line, and it is a foul ball.
That would have been an interesting decision for Mark Schellenberger. Had that ball been fair and he thrown to first, the runner probably would have been able to move down to third. Had he just held it, you'd have had men at first and second. But as it was, it just trickled foul.
Brown goes to the set. Here's the pitch. And it's a called strike on FRYE. That'll even the count at 2-2. Look across the diamond. Everybody is up on the top step over there in the Hillman dugout. There's a pop foul. It'll be out of play behind the plate, up on the roof of Brown Stadium.
I think there's a little adrenaline flowing in these 2 dugouts right now.
Oh, yeah.
You said you couldn't sleep last night. How'd you like to be one of these high school players? Biggest crowd you've ever played in front of, Class D school,
Yep.
Huge ballpark, biggest game of your life.
Now, Coach Checkley of Hillman said he got some sleep, but once he woke up, he could not go back to sleep, no question. Kept thinking about what was going to happen today. The 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle towards second, gloved by Kinney. The throw goes to first. Well, they put out. On to third goes Jones. Now fly ball will end this ball game. A fly ball at medium depth. The batter will be Mark Oswald.
Oswald has a couple of RBIs this afternoon.
Next batter for Hillman.
And I don't know whether they're going to get a change here or not. Tim Flynn, the coach, has come out in the middle of the diamond.
Third baseman number 18, Mark Oswald.
Flynn looking over toward Schellenberger. What he's going to do, they're setting it up because a runner at third, a fly ball hit almost
medium
depth is going to score the winning run. So they can bring the outfield in. And we'll see how he sets the infield too.
Make sure that everybody out there is aware of the situation that with 1 out and that runner at third, anything in the air, you got to get that runner going home. Send it to extra innings.
Now Flynn is calling his infield in, the outfield in.
And I'm sure Mark Oswald is quite well aware of the fact that if he can get anything on the ball, he's going to be able to put it over the outfield, which is pulled in at this point with 1 out.
Tim Jones representing the game-winning run over there at third base. And they're going to purposely walk Oswald.
Okay.
Might even see an intentional pass to Greg Jones, too.
At this point,
Number 3, Greg Jones.
the odds maker will say, yes, you load the bases, you set up the double play. And they do. 2 intentional passes.
Yep.
So you got them at all sacks.
But this way, you've got to force it every base.
Right.
And that puts the spotlight on Mark McMurray, who started this game as the pitcher for Hillman. Always a very interesting situation. 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the 7th inning, the last inning of this Class D championship game. And it's the last regulation inning. McMurray is 1 for 3 at an infield hit. And the crowd, most of them on their feet here. The pitch from Brown. It's taken low. Good pickup by Harvey. That's a dangerous possibility, too. Set by Brown. The pitch. Strike call.
Jason Brown, of course, would love to get a strikeout, get that second out up there.
He sets and pitches. It's bunted. It's a squeeze. The pitcher has it. Can't do anything with it. The run scores, and the game is over. Mark McMurray has squeezed home Tim Jones with a game-winning run, and Hillman has come up with a run at the bottom of the 7th inning to become the new state Class D champions for 1992. Give Mark McMurray a base hit on that one. There's no way Jason Brown had to play anywhere, either at the plate or at first base. It was just a beautifully laid down bunt by Mark McMurray, bringing in Tim Jones to give the Hillman Tigers the state championship. The final score, Hillman 8, Athens 7. This is the MHSAA on pass. A thrilling finish to the state Class D championship game here in Battle Creek as Hillman loaded the bases with 1 out, and Mark McMurray laid down a perfect bunt out in front of the plate, bringing in Tim Jones from third base with a winning run. And Hillman becomes the state Class D champions with an 8-7 victory over Athens. Let's take a look at that final game-winning bunt.
Perfect bunt, right down in front, forces the pitcher to come up and field it, but the runner was moving. On the pitch, really. It was a squeeze all the way and perfectly executed for the winning run. And there you see the joy for winning a state championship.
The line score in this one for Hillman, 8 runs, 10 hits, 6 errors. For Athens, 7 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Jason Brown, the losing pitcher. The win goes to Tim Jones. We'll be right back. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's take another look. Let's take another look at that final play that won the game for Hillman here in the state Class D final. That perfect suicide squeeze bunt laid down by Matt McMurray that brought in Tim Jones from third.
There you see Jones breaking on the pitch. If the batter doesn't get that ball down, he's dead at the plate, but he got it down. Perfect squeeze, the winning run for the state championship. And Paul, you know, it's probably appropriate that that's the way the game ended, because that's the way these two teams played every minute of this ball game. They were trying to squeeze and sacrifice and do anything you could do to scratch out a run. It was a kind of a game that it was nip and tuck back and forth, and maybe appropriate that it should end on a squeeze bunt.
And the odd thing is, it was not a game that was very cleanly played, but with all the errors on both sides. And yet when it came down to the game-winning run, it was perfect execution that brought it home. We'll be right back. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
Again, the non-starter first. Number 4, Mike Cordes.
Coming up tomorrow night, we'll have the first 2 championship games of our state final softball coverage here on Pro-Am Sports. The Class A title bout between Plymouth Canton and Jennison will air at 7:30, followed by the Class D finale between Waterford Our Lady and Mendon at 9. Stay with us all week as the best in high school championship sports coverage continues here on Pass. Now for my partner, Mike Carey, this is Paul Carey saying so long from Brown Stadium. Once again, the final score in the Class D championship game, Hillman 8, Athens 7.
Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware Stores, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program. And by the Michigan Cable Television Association.